Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Let Us Reason podcast, where we talk about life. We talk about anything and give everyone a fair chance to express their opinions without being vulgar, disrespectful, or hostile. You know, I don't know everything, you do not know everything, but we all can learn from each other by sharing our opinion and our experiences. And today we want to talk about the situation facing people from Haiti, the refugees from Haiti, in the U.S Texas border, where they are being treated like animals and going through some of the roughest conditions in life. And I can tell you the truth, I'm really heartbroken about it. When I see the images, it really break my heart. It's almost 10,000 people sleeping underneath a bridge, which most of them are Haitians. And when you look at the images, they say that picture tell 1,000 words. You see those dad carrying their little daughter on their shoulder trying to cross to come over the border to reach the U.S. And they're not going to give them no asylum. They're going to have a mass deportation where they're going to deport them back to Haiti. And the question that I have, after those people take the little that they have and journey from Haiti to reach this part of the world, to reach the U.S., after they send them back to Haiti, what kind of life are they going back to? What kind of life are those people going back to? No one run away from things that is good. Nobody run away from good things. So it must be something bad those people running from, why they are in the position that they are in now. Haitians have always been running away. Always. You have a lot of Haitians in Jamaica. There's a place in Montego Bay that they call Mount Pella. You have a lot of Haitians there. You have a lot of Haitians born in Jamaica and can speak patois just as good as me. and any other Jamaican because they were born there. Jamaica grants some of them asylum, like back in the days. I don't know about now. And all over the world, you can find Asian refugees always running away. I try to imagine what those people might be going through. You know, try to put myself in their place, and there's no good feeling trying to imagine their situation. No good feeling. And I believe it's a really horrific experience for those children too, you know. Their parents trying to find a better life for them. And that going to stay with them until they reach adulthood. What impact this experience going to have on those children? Maybe we will never know. You see, I don't think there's another country on earth that is commercialized as the U.S. You know, the U.S. is advertised to be like paradise, the place to be. You know, the greatest country in the world. They send the land of the free and the brave. The land of the free. That's a big statement. Because a lot of people who are born in the US still don't feel free. A lot of people. You know. So everybody right across the globe, in every country, you have people who want to leave to experience what the US is all about. Good night, Carla.
Hello, good night.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
And
I want
what is your opinion on the situation facing those people from Haiti at the U.S. Texas border? What is your opinion on it?
I think it's horrible. And if black people are still asleep after the images that are being shown, then they're gonna stay asleep. I think it's time people wake up and see that nothing has changed. I mean, to see these officers on horses with hats with whips, nothing's changed. And if they're still asleep, they're gonna stay asleep. We all need to get together and stop separating ourselves from cultures.
But do you do
One
you
thing about black people, we're like crabs in a bucket. We're always pulling each other down. And it's time we unite, you know?
do you think that will ever happen?
I don't think it will ever happen. To tell you the truth, I don't think it will ever happen, but I do have my hopes. Because black people, we are one ignorant people. We are one ignorant and disobedient people. That's one thing I can say. But I'm just hoping that we could just all wake up and get together. Because every time one person rises up, there's a crab dragging them down.
Yeah,
So, yeah. So I'm hoping they all wake up. I'm hoping that the Haitian people get the help that they need. And I'm hoping Black Lives Matter march. I mean, they march for everybody else. I'm trying to figure out, is Black Lives Matter only for Americans or is it for black people in general? Because something needs to be done. Black Lives Matter was to represent the whole body of black people, not just Americans. And I've been peeping that, and I haven't seen any one of them rise up. And I'm disappointed. And I'm hoping they see your channel, and I'm challenging them to do something about it.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
It's really sad, and and heartbroken, to see what those people have to be going through, and they,
Yeah,
they,
I feel so
they,
bad for them. And I mean, if I had a way, I would go there and grab a few people and help them myself. I would. I would take a car and just grab a few people. But they make it so hard for us to help each other. They make it so hard for us to even get to them so they could get the help that they need,
I was
you know?
I was watching a video and where those people was in the water and they was trying to get on dry land, and
And
you have
they
some
prevented.
you have yeah, they were prevented from going on dry land. They stay stuck in the water because you have those cop and the R's like cowboy, preventing them
Yeah.
from coming out of the water.
What
Women.
I've come to understand is that they have a camp for the Haitian people. That's where they're being kept captive. And they're not supposed to leave that area, but they're not being fed properly. It's like they're hungry. So it's a lot of things that are going on there that is not being said. But the Haitian people, they're very it's like a revolutionary type of people. So what they did is they crossed the border and went to Mexico to buy food to bring back to the camp, to their family, to their children, because they're hungry there. They're probably being fed apples, a bag of chip, and pretzels. They're not used to those kind of food. They need real hard food like potatoes and plantain and chicken and meat and grains. You know. So what they did is they went to Mexico and bought food for their children, food that they are familiar with,
Mm-hmm.
and they're telling them to go back to Mexico, go back to where you come from, and they're whipping them and keeping them in the water like they're animals. And it's sad because this is a very big world, and God made this world so we could be fruitful and to flourish in this world. But it's like there's no room for Haitian people to flourish. Every time they try to stand, they get knocked down. And
Why you think Asian people having it so hard though?
let me tell you, there's a lot of ignorant people out there who saying Haitian is voodoo this and voodoo that. If I could cuss, I would, but I'm not gonna cuss because this is a lie. This has nothing to do with voodoo, and this has not that has nothing to do with God punishing Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a lot of Christian, Catholic, Baptist, and Haiti who are very spiritual, who love God and who worship God. And what happened is Haiti is is on top of equator that causes these types of earthquake. My thing is, I don't know why Haiti's always getting the earthquake and not the Dominican Republic because it's one land.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not understanding that. But every evil is gonna come a time where every evil will be revealed. We don't know why these things are going on, but it could be man-made or it could be manipulated by man. But we need to stop dragging each other down and always throwing out, oh, Haiti is cursed and Haiti is that and Haiti is whatever.
Yeah.
God said to help your neighbors and to do unto others what you would like others to do unto you.
I personally don't hold the notion that because I've hated this and hated that while they're struggling. I don't hold the notion that because voodoo and all of those kind of stuff and God curse Haiti and all type of stuff why these things are happening.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of
Haiti's
people a lot of people need to before they start to talk and jump to conclusion. I think they need to do some study in history to find out
but they're
what really
ignorant
take
people.
place with Haiti.
Let me put the phone down a little bit so I can speak clearly with my hands. Okay? There is a lot of ignorant people in this world. They are so ignorant. But let me educate you guys. If you are listening, he who has an ear, let him hear what I have to say. Now, when you watch these movies with all these slave people, and they're always going on a ship and they're trying to reach freedom, where the hell do you think they were going to reach freedom? Where was freedom at those times? It was Haiti.
Yep.
Haiti would accept them with open arms. They
Yes,
are
that's
not
true.
taught in history class. They're not going to teach you that. The slave was always looking for a way to the water to reach Haiti. It was Haiti they were looking for because Haiti was free and Haiti would fight for any black people who would reach land. But they're not getting the same treatment in return. Now that Haiti is on their face, the same people who they helped turn their backs on them. They say they eat cat, they this and they that. They shit on them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, they've been shitting on Haiti for such a long damn time, you know? And it's crazy. They've become blind. And they did not become blind on their own. They were on their own. They were taught to become blind. They were
Yes.
taught by the system. Because when they paint a picture of Haiti, they always show the ugly and dirty part, the impoverished part. And then they always say Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. But if you travel Haiti and you go to some certain parts, you're like, wow, this place is beautiful. I didn't even know this place existed. They don't want you to know these type of places. They don't. Because Haiti is still paying debt to
Yeah,
America, to France.
a, a lot of people don't know that the destabilization of Haiti economy is because of the reparation that Haiti have to pay back to France for fighting and winning their own freedom and chasing the French out of Haiti. They have to be they have to be paying reparation. I think they stop paying it now, but I think they pay reparation back to France for more than 100 years. So all of that money that they should use to really build Haiti have to go to France. So it destabilize Haiti economy and put Haiti in the position that they are in now. A lot of people don't know that. Plus also, if you have a country and you have governments that are corrupt and not looking out for its own people, stuff like that going to happen too, you know?
Yeah, but you know what? They blame Haiti because they lost a lot of their profit. Because what happened was when all these slaves would leave from certain places and they would reach Haiti, they would tell the Haitians what's going on back in their land. So they built an army and they went island to island. They even went to the United States and they helped fight their captives
Yeah,
and help and they helped um, African American and all the other people who were still slaves. They helped them get their freedom. They were helped, and because of that, um, the white man basically they felt like they were robbed because of the Haitians. They were robbed. They lost a lot of money because the slaves rebelled,
mm-hmm.
and they fought. And Haiti actually went there to help them fight. So Haiti's being punished, and they've been punished for hundreds of years. And the very same people that they've helped have turned their backs on them. And if their ancestors were there, they'd be very angry. But we are living in a time where it's not the ancestors who are um, being ungrateful. It's the children of the ancestors who are not educated because they're being taught wrong in the history books. They don't know their history, and they don't know what the Haitian people had done to get them to where they are and to help them get their freedom.
At one
And
point, at one point, Haiti and Jamaica used to be so close because Haitian used to leave from Haiti, go to help Jamaica to fight, and Jamaicans used to leave from Jamaica to go to Haiti to also fight for freedom. Um,
and that's
a,
supposed to
huh?
and that's how it's supposed to be,
That's what
you
it's
know.
supposed to be.
Union,
A lot of
but
people, a lot of people don't know about Bookman. He's the one who started the revolution in Haiti in the 1700s, so that Haiti can win their independence and be the first black republic state in the whole world. and Bookman leave Jamaica and go to Haiti. So Haiti and Jamaica used to have a tight band at one point, and right now I know there's a lot of Jamaican living in Haiti right now. Everywhere in the corner of this globe you go, I know you can find some Asian and some Jamaican. And that's a fact. That's just how the two country is. You know? We cook alike. The only thing we don't talk the same language. But our food
Yeah,
is similar. And if you pass a Asian on the road and you pass a Jamaican and they stand up beside each other, you can't tell if it's a Asian or a Jamaican unless they open their mouth and start to talk. You know?
it's true. But you know what? There's ignorance in every culture. I remember a friend of mine who her job had a potluck. That's where everybody would bring food from their own culture. And it was a Jamaican guy there, and he said if there's gonna be Haitian food, he's not gonna touch it. He don't eat from Haitian. He don't eat Haitian food. But yet he was there eating Chinese food. He was there eating Hawaiian food. He was eating every other food, Caucasian food. But to him, Haitian people are nasty, and he will not eat from Haitian.
It's, it,
And I thought that was very ignorant, and he's very uneducated, you know. And those things could be very hurtful.
there's a lot of
Very.
there's a lot of misinformation flying around out there about Haiti and Asian people and them food. And how can a person tell the story that a person write in the book without reading the story for themselves? A person have to try to get experience for themselves. Don't just take word of mouth for it. Because I go to Jamaican restaurant multiple times here in Florida, and Asians are there buying Jamaican food. And I go to Asian restaurant and buy my food all the time. One nice like the grill and the fry green plantain when them press. One nice like that. You know? So people have to try out the thing before they start to knock it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But it's a sad thing, and I'm praying that these Haitian people get the help that they need, and I'm praying that the eyes of the Black nation would wake up and see what's going on around them. I pray that they not sleep too long, because what's going is it's like when I see these men on the horses, all I see, they see themselves as masters. Like they are the masters and we are the slaves. And we're gonna get all behind a whoop. And if you see the pleasure on their face when they are whooping the Haitians, it is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. And I'm the type of person, I wish I was there. I would have grabbed the horses by the leg and I would have made the horse flip on top of that damn police and stomp on him. That's how angry I get when I see things like that. I start getting violent thoughts because I put myself in their situation. When I see these people in the water with their children trying to find freedom and they still have hope. They're seeing the police there on horses and you still see hope in their eyes.
Yeah.
Although they're being beaten, you look in their eyes, look deep in their eyes, you still see hope.
And the crazy
They
thing,
are still hoping that they make it.
what they were running from to get here, they have to go back to it. That is the thing, you know. What they was
And they,
running from to get here, they
their
have to go
president is
back to
dead.
it.
Their president is dead. The government is out of whack. I mean, it's a lot of this destruction going on in Haiti right now. So it's crazy.
You know, Carla, thanks for calling and sharing your views and thoughts on the situation facing the Asians at the U.S. Texas border. I really appreciate your input, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know why so many people don't like Asian people. And that's the truth. A lot of people don't like Asians. A lot of Jamaicans, and that's a fact, don't like Asians. It's like if you're an Asian, mention that you're an Asian among a lot of people. It's like they look up on you, look up on you as an Asian with a scorn. Why? Because they are misinformed. Probably that's why. I have a lot of Asian friends. I have Asians in my family. I have nephews that are Asians and Jamaican mix. And just like in Jamaica, you have some nice, wonderful Jamaican people and some devil asshole, wicked Jamaican people. It's the same thing in Haiti. You have nice people and bad and wicked people, just like Jamaica. A whole heap of obia and them thing there work at Jamaica. Whole heap. People work obia and witchcraft upon one another all the time. So if you're going to blame Haiti, say them work obia and witchcraft, Jamaica is guilty for the same thing. And a lot of other countries right across the globe are guilty for the same thing that the Asians are being blamed for. That's a fact. Okay. In 2010, when that 9.4, I think it was, magnitude earthquake hit Haiti, killed 300,000 people. And not a scratch done to the Dominican Republic side. Just look at it. Hey, Carla, good night. Big up yourself. Welcome to Let Us Reason.
Go on, bless up.
Yeah, man. Blessings. What's up, man?
Yo,
You hear me?
me just I hear you now. Me don't know if you are hear me clearly.
Yeah, man. I hear you clear, man.
Oh, I seems not call your man, but yes, he says a different area code now.
Yes, man. Me remember your voice, Simpson. What your opinion with
Yes,
what go
man.
on the Asian them?
Yes, so upon the topic now. Yeah, man. Well, we only meet one Asian before, really. Still,
Which part you meet him?
am I internet or yours?
No,
Am I internet?
no man. My internet good.
Oh, it seemed like a mine. All right, let me recheck my internet and ring you back just now.
All right. Yeah, man. Yes, AJ Brown. Everything where you say, man, me agree with. Yeah, man, and it's something that I think about too. You know. But in 2010, hello.
Yeah, man. So you hear me clearer now?
Yeah, man, me I hear a good man.
Yeah, man. So, yes, man. That's right.
Uh-huh.
Met this Asian guy already. Well, that time I was living in Montserrat,
Mm-hmm.
and thing I can tell you is this like one of the most amazing person I ever met.
Yeah, man.
Understand? And I would say that was one of my best friend. Very
Mm-hmm.
trustworthy person. Like considerate. Like anything you're doing is half and half, and like you genuinely care.
For real, man. So in every culture, we have the good and the bad. Every culture. But the Asians are demonized all the time. As I was saying before the call a while ago, in 2010 when they have that massive earthquake that killed 300,000 people, the first thing a lot of televangelists come out on the TV and said is because they worship the devil. They make a pact with the devil. That's why they're getting it all the time. 300,000 people dead. Dominica don't get a scratch. The same land mass. That's crazy, ain't it? I was talking to a guy from Dominica the other day. I went to his house to do an estimate on a job, and he was telling me that he was from Dominica. But he worked as a lawyer for NCB Bank. Is it NCB? No, JN. He worked as a lawyer for JN Bank in Jamaica, so he's in Jamaica all the time. And I was asking him about all the disasters that Haiti have, if they ever get any of it. And he said, no, they never get no disaster. Look at all the flooding that happened in Haiti. Earthquake and heavy rain come and flood out and kill off people. And nothing don't happen to the Dominican Republic side. It's crazy, you know. And my heart really goes out for these people from Haiti that's stuck here as a refugee and that going to be deported back to Haiti in the condition that they're running from. A lot of people suffering, man. A lot of people suffering in the world, and it's not by accident, you know. It's not by accident. And I believe the world have enough. The enough is in this world for everybody to live a good and healthy life above poverty. This world have enough. Nobody shouldn't have to be suffering, you know, and living an unhappy life that they have to run for asylum and freedom from where they are living to somewhere else. But the system that are put in place, I think they need an overall. They need to go back to the drawing board. I don't know if change will ever come. I really don't know. Even in I don't remember what the hurricane that hit Bahamas. I think it was either last year or year before last. That hurricane hit Bahamas, and there was some Haitian immigrant in Bahamas living close to the ocean. That part of Bahamas that those Haitian people was living, the hurricane and tide come in and take away that portion and drowned off a whole lot of those people in Bahamas. Kind of crazy still. Kind of crazy. Really crazy. Crazy world, crazy time. A lot of people are unhappy. A lot of people are on the edge right now. I've never seen a time like this really where everything is just tense, you know? Everything is just tense. But we can't give up still. Can't lose hope. If anything we can hold on to, let us hold on to hope. Hoping that things will change and hoping that things will be better, you know. If not for us, for our children and our grandchildren to come. Yeah, man. Big up on yourself. Thanks for being a part of this podcast. Yeah, I want to make mention of something. Whenever time I go live, I know fans of Peanut Dread. They said I must go live with Peanut Dread. That is something I would want to do and look forward to do. But this live wasn't about Peanut Dread or anything. I was talking about the Asian people, them and the struggle and the suffering them facing there in Texas. This live was about them, really. And to be honest with you, I rather to pre-record stuff with peanut dread more than to go live, because every video that I put out are edited version of whatever discussion that we have. You know, peanut dread is that straight shooter and stuff, and there's stuff that him said you can't put out in public. So I would rather to do it pre-recorded than going live, and that's the honest truth. All right, big up on yourself, take care, love life, live free, live your own truth, not take nothing for granted, and not living a life in no fear. Don't fear nothing, and just try to be as smart as possible going through. All right, take care of yourself until we link up again later.